Hello, I am a Spiceman, and welcome to my Windwalker monk guide for raiding. I have a few disclaimers before we dive into everything. So the first one is that this is mainly for normal and heroic, but it will still be applicable for mythic scenarios. And also, I do not have the tier set, so I won't be able to show you what that looks like, but there are a lot of speculations right now as to how you will actually play with it, but we will get into that later. So these are my talents. There will be a text down below that you can import down here in the import area. So both my AOE talent and my single target talent you will be able to copy in here. So to start off, I will show you my talents, and this is for the single target, pure single target scenarios only. And as you can see, we are going Phalanx Stomp, we are going Strike of the Windlord, Skyreach, and also we're going Serenity. So this is a bit of a change for Mythic Plus, or from Mythic Plus rather, going Phalanx Stomp and Serenity. The basic thing of this is that you want to keep Phalanx Stomp on cooldown always, because it increases your damage dealt by all your other abilities by 8%. And this can be reset by using other abilities. So keeping this on cooldown is your number one priority. And after that, it will always be Strike of the Windlord. So first Phalanx Stomp, then Strike of the Windlord. And we are still going Skyreach because it's such a good talent for early in the expansion when you don't have that much crit. So getting this 50% increased crit for 6 seconds is extremely good. And what this does is that in that 6-second window, you want to use your highest damage abilities possible. So that is Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, and Rising Sun Kick. That means you don't want to start off with Tiger Palm and then do Phalanx Stomp, because then you will essentially use 1.5 seconds of globals using Phalanx Stomp, and this doesn't do that much damage. So you want to Phalanx Stomp first, then you want to apply the Skyreach debuff, then you want to Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, Rising Sun Kick. And that is your insane burst for those 6 seconds. And then you will move over to your priorities instead. So that is the basics of the pure single target situations. And now I will go into the more cleave based, but it's mostly an AoE build. So I will show you that right now. So these are my AoE talents, and this is actually the exact same build I go for Mythic Plus, basically. The reason I'm going pure AoE and not like a cleave sort of build is because if you're playing a monk, you will probably all the time be designated to killing adds, and most of the adds in this raid are 4 or more, which makes it so you want to play an AoE build. And this is because Monk's AoE burst right now is extremely high. You can do 100k burst on every single pack almost because of Skyreach and because you have kind of low cooldown on the things like Strike of the Windlord and also Fist of Fury. So to talk about these talents for a little bit, your main priority here is also applying Skyreach to every single ad there is in the raid encounter, and then using your high damage abilities after that. So to give an example, because you won't have every single damage ability up all the time, but you want to apply Skyreach, and then maybe if you have Fist of Fury, you do that, and then you apply Skyreach to another target, and then you might get Rising Sun Kick up or Strike of the Windlord, and you might get Fist of Fury up again, and you use that. So basically, in the Skyreach window, you want to do as much damage as possible because you're doing 50% more crit to that target you're attacking. And also, as you can see, going this build, you will be going Storm, Earth, and Fire because you want to get your Spinning Crane Kick stacks out as soon as possible. Because Spinning Crane Kick is such a good ability still, you want to prioritize the Dance of the Shi procs. And also, if you have the tier set, it increases the damage by the Spinning Crane Kick by 30% more. so it will be an even higher priority. Strike of the Windlord is still your number one priority though, I want to make that clear. And a few things I want to talk about also is your defensive usage. So you have a lot of defensives as a monk. You have Touch of Karma, incredibly good. You have Fortifying Brew, incredibly good. You have Dampen Harm, incredibly good. And you have Diffuse Magic, incredibly good. So all of these defensives, you don't want to stack. So it's only if it's like an oh shit moment where you have to stand in something, you want to press everything, and then you probably can live it because there's so much damage reduction between all these. But other than that, just try to keep everything on cooldown basically, because none of them are on the global cooldown anyways. So you can just keep all of them on cooldown and just try to rotate them, and that will make it a lot easier for the healers, and it will keep you alive, and that will make you deal more damage essentially because you won't be dead, right? So going into a pure single target situation, which will only be Teros actually, the boss Teros. That is the only pure single target boss in the entire raid. This is what the opener and the priorities will look like. They will be on screen right now. So pause the video if you want to copy it or whatever, but it will be here. Also a link down below to a very good website that shows all the priorities. So what I find best here to do is expel harm before the pull. And then if you can, do another expel harm. And then you want to go to the target, apply Phalanx Stomp, and then you want to use your cooldowns, the Tiger Palm, Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, Rising Sun Kick. And then you continue with your priorities. So basically, to show what it looks like, another expel harm, Phalanx Stomp, cooldowns, Tiger Palm, Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, and Rising Sun Kick. Very basic. So I will now show you what a quick little 30-40 second fight will look with this training dummy. So you can maybe try it out yourself and see how it feels. So I will expel harm. I will wait a little. I will wait. And then I'm gonna use Phalanx Stomp and then pop all my CDs. So I'm gonna use my trinket. I'm gonna go forward, use Phalanx Stomp, CDs, Strike, Fist of Fury, Rising Sun Kick, wait for my Fist of Fury, use it again, Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, Fist of Fury, Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, Blackout Kick. Don't overcap, I almost overcapped there. Phalanx up again, nice. Tiger Palm, don't overcap. Getting Strike back, Tiger Palm, Fist of Fury, almost overcapping. Tiger Palm again, don't overcap on your Blackout Kick. And you see I got a proc on my Phalanx Stomp again. Nice. Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, and Fist of Fury. So, as you can see, pretty fun to play. Actually, very fun to play. And as you can see, there's almost no window at all to use my She Wave or Expel Harm. Those are, even though Expel Harm is a low global and also a low energy cost, there's not a lot of windows for you to use it. And something to also keep track of is the Skyreach buff above your target's head here. There's a link to my Plater profile if you want to copy this. But as you can see, it's ticking down. It's 1 minute cooldown basically. So if you can see that it's almost coming off, you want to try, this is very, very hard to do, but you want to try to have Strike of the Windlord, Fist of Fury, and Rising Sun Kick up for almost every single Skyreach buff. But you never want to like just sit and wait for them. That's kind of yikes. But that is like the hard part. That is the min-maxy part of doing this, to keep all these 3 abilities available for every single Skyreach. So going into the AOE, this will almost be the exact same as the Mythic Plus guide I did. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to check it out because I got a very, very good response to it. So be sure to check it out to learn about all the priorities and what you need to do in an AOE situation. But basically, you want to try and maximize Skyreach again. Skyreach on every single target. You want to have spinning crane kick stacks on all your targets. As you can see here, I get the spinning crane kick debuff, I get the Skyreach debuff here. So you want to have that on almost every single target, and you want to maximize that uptime. And also you want to snipe as many ads as possible with your touch of death. That is not only to pad, but actually Monk right now is, as I said, one of the best ad killers in the game. So being able to deal as much damage to the ads as possible will make it so you can kill the boss, but because then your raid does not have to send that many people to the ads, and you can maybe even solo them in certain cases. So going into the AoE, I really suggest you watch my Mythic Plus guide, because it shows you every single thing you need to think of when doing AoE. But I will just show you this in this video as well. So you want to use your Trinket, you want to Xuen, Storm with the Fire, Tiger Palm, Strike of the Windlord, Tiger Palm new target, Fist of Fury, Blackout Kick, Tiger Palm, Spinning Crane Kick, yeah. And as you can see, I'm doing a lot of damage. And this is without a proc. Now I'll get a proc and damage will just spike. So if you get a proc there, you can go up to about 200k with no issue whatsoever. And you can keep this going as well. So yeah, the last thing I want to mention is stat priorities. It is very hard to do stat priorities right now. I also suggest simming your character. But versatility is still very good, crit is still very good, mastery is still very good. The only thing that is lacking a little bit is haste, but I really suggest you sim your character. So last thing I want to mention is my plater profile and my weak auras. So the weak auras I use are from Luxthos, will be a link down below in the description, and the plater profile I will try to upload. If you can't find it, you will find it in my Discord. But one thing I want to mention is actually how you make a weak aura. This part, if you're already familiar with how to make weak auras, you can just skip over this. This is extremely basic. But let's say you have a trinket. This trinket, Wind Turtle's Blessing, your harmful spells and abilities have a chance to grant you 1370 mastery for 20 seconds. You want to track this trinket so you know when you have that up, and you can time your abilities a little bit better in that window, that 20-second window. You want to go into your weak auras. You go into maybe an icon, a new, just call it whatever, like that. Beautiful. And then in the trigger section, you want to go down into aura type, name, and just type the aura name. So if I just want to track this buff, which is not the actual buff of it, but this is actually the buff, the Primal Turtle trinket. It's called Primal Turtle's Wish. I just type in that there and it will show. And then you want to go into the display, and you can add some glow to it if you want to make it show up a little bit better. So now it looks like this, but it will have the icon of the actual Primal Turtle trinket. So very basic. I put it here so I see it clearly when I have the buff on me. So yeah, just a small thing. Hope that helps someone. So just a quick talk about the tier set. As you can see, what it does is that Fist of Fury increases damage dealt by your next 2 Rising Sun Kick or 2 Spinning Crane Kicks by 30%. And the 4 set now enhances your 3 next Rising Sun Kick or Spinning Crane Kicks, and they in turn increase the damage you deal by with Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up to 3 times. So essentially what this does is that you always still want to keep Strike of the Windlord on cooldown, but you want to maximize as many Rising Sun Kicks in between your Fist of Fury windows. So speculating, this will be very hard to do because of certain talents that reduce the cooldown of Fist of Fury, but essentially just maximize the amount of Rising Sun Kicks you use between your Fist of Furies, and you will be fine. And in AOE, you just swap out Rising Sun Kit for Spin and Crank Kick. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, you probably understand it. It's pretty simple. It's very hard to talk about right now because we are still pretty low geared, and like almost none of us has the tier set yet. So yeah, but that's the basics of it. So to end the video, I want to say thanks to everyone who has commented on my last Mythic Plus video. I really appreciate all the nice comments, and it's so cool that so many of you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, feel free to join my stream. I stream 5 times a week. There will be a link to my stream in the description and also on the screen. So if you join my stream and ask me a question, I will answer it. I can just answer it immediately. But you can also write in the comments, and I will try to answer it as soon as possible. I read every single comment, so just feel free to ask them there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, or guide rather, for raiding in Dragonflight as a Windwalker monk. I really hope you learned something from this, and if you did, feel free to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I want to add a quick disclaimer as well that I'm playing monk as well as a druid, so there will be some boomkin action also. Yeah. So peace out, guys. Bye.